first off, look, if you've come looking for hope, you've come to the right place.
Okay.
So I'm the king of hope. And I even wrote a poem called Hope. Okay. So and our audience knows I am intensely optimistic. And so when I get a sense of hopelessness, what I do is I try to fix it. And we do active things in the world, like we created Justice Democrats. We launched it on the Young Turks. We launched the improbable campaign of AOC, and nobody thought that was possible, and we did it. And then when we started Justice Democrats, everybody thought you'd be lucky to get one. Now we have 11 in Congress, right? So I 100% believe in hope. Ro Khanna was on the show today on the Young Turks talking about what we can do to fight forward. Okay, now in terms of the Biden. No, look, if you say, hey, is there things that he's done well? Oh, absolutely. So here are a laundry list of things I'll give him credit for. Getting out of Afghanistan. And I did not agree with corporate media. Oh, it was a mess, it was terrible. They always say that when we're ending a war. They never say it when we're starting a war, right? So no, I'm thrilled that Biden got us out of Afghanistan. Did Trump start that process? He did, so what? Biden finished it, right? And he did it right away. The infrastructure bill is good in the long run. I have a giant asterisk on it, but I'll take it. Even the semiconductor bill, it's a giant giveaway to the semiconductor industry, but we do need a national semiconductor industry. So it's a complicated one, it's nuanced, right? The COVID relief bill had some of the provisions that helped the average American the most out of any bill I've covered in like 20 years, okay? Unfortunately, a lot of that already sunset and was obliterated later on. So I can go on and on, right? But in terms of, is Biden a progressive? Absolutely not. Has he done enough? Absolutely not, okay? And so it's not me being nihilistic to say that. I credit where credit is due and then discredit where discredit is due. So for example, and I can give you many, but let's start here. So Stephen, he said like $15 minimum wage was like bare minimum. Oh, of course we were gonna get that. I remember when he got into office and I told legislators, I said to people on air, our audience, etc., they're not gonna do it. And everybody was incredulous. No, he promised that 8 weeks to Sunday, he's definitely gonna do it. And what did he do? He had his 2 Delaware senators that are his top allies in the Senate vote against it. He came out and spoke during the Super Bowl interview against it. He was never going to do it. He was lying all along. He's been a conservative on economic issues for 50 straight years. And I can go down a laundry list of things he was never gonna do. Paid family leave, public option. He promised public option 1,000 times, never once proposed it, never once even talked about it, because he was lying.
Okay, so this is, okay, I wanna hone in on this. So firstly, I love everything you said at the beginning, okay? And I might repeat this line a lot. I feel like sometimes when I get people in front of me and we chat, their takes become very reasonable. But in going over like the videos for this conversation, the things I'm hearing, like in regards to the debt ceiling, I was like, there are no wins for Democrat, none, zero. Biden hates the middle class. Well, sure, the Democrats and the Republicans are on the same goddamn team. Democrats just give McCarthy gift after gift after gift after gift. Do you really think that like a Republican administration would more or less do the same thing as like a Democratic administration or a Democrat administration?
So with an asterisk, yes. So like, for example, they did the IRS, funding the IRS $80 billion over 10 years. That was the one. And by the way, Steve, you can go back and watch our clips on Afghanistan, on the infrastructure bill, on all of these. I haven't changed my position 1%. So what I say on air at the Young Turks is what I'm saying here. So, and by the way, the reason you might notice me being more vitriolic is because those are the videos that get more attention, right? But I also mean those 200%. So yes, the IRS bill was good, and that was a bill that the Republicans definitely would not have done. And I said, okay, look, give the Democratic Party credit there. There's a slight difference, even on economic issues. Okay, so okay. Now, having said that, the rest of it has been a disaster. So the debt ceiling, there was one tiny thing we got, and God bless, okay, we got the exemption for homeless and veterans on SNAP, okay? But the other 8 things were all for Republicans. We got nothing back. We didn't need to do it at all. And I think, and this is the part that's probably gonna really bother you, I think that Biden wanted to do all those things. So So when Obama was president, they invent this thing about, oh, we're going to now negotiate the debt ceiling. Okay, so Republican ploy, but Obama and Biden love going along with those ploys. They love it. They could easily just go 14th Amendment. I'm done with it. Oh, by the way, if you'd like to wreck the world economy, that is going to be 100% on you. Okay. Well, instead, when he gets into a negotiation, it becomes 50% on him. And then in that negotiation, he gets almost nothing and gets slaughtered on everything else.
Okay, so let's hone in on this a little bit. Okay, so Biden has largely gotten to pass a lot of major legislation, right? We had the infrastructure bill, we had the American Rescue Plan, like huge ticket things, and our budget has been insanely huge. On our discretionary spending, we're talking like $1.4, $1.5 trillion over and over and over again. With the debt ceiling approaching, and with the Republicans taking the House, I'm pretty sure every single political analyst thought the Democrats were going to have to give a lot when it came time to negotiate on the debt ceiling stuff. Now, Biden said he originally wasn't going to negotiate, but regardless of how we feel, like it's a Democratic president. If the United States defaulted on the debt, it would be catastrophic. Failures to negotiate the debt ceiling are always going to hurt the sitting president more than the Republican Party. We're not going to be able to blame House Republicans when Democrats have the Senate and the presidency. I feel like when we look at everything that was given, and I guess this is my problem when I listen to you guys talk about this, is I hear this like Republicans got everything they want. We just gave and gave and gave and gave. The difference between the House bill that McCarthy passed versus what was finally signed in the Senate, I felt like it was some of the, and I see everybody else say this. Krugman was saying this, the guys at Pod Save America was saying this, even Ben Shapiro was admitting this, that the political maneuvering was pretty good. That like some of the stuff that was given up wasn't really a give up at all. So for instance, a lot of people complain about work requirements on SNAP. So work requirements were increased from 49 years of age to 54 years of age. But because of the wide exemption that was given for veterans and homeless people, I think the Congressional Budget Office, which is nonpartisan, their guesstimate was that the outlays in that program are actually going to increase. We're going to spend more money on that program than we were before. Because if you look at the unemployment in that age bracket, it's like 2.5%. Like most people are working in this age bracket. It's not like they're having trouble finding jobs or anything. And there's a lot of exemptions made for like people in people with children, people from orphanages, people with mental illness. There's a lot of exemptions made for that. That's like one example. And there's like example after example after example of like the gives that we made were just not a big deal. And a lot of the important stuff like Social Security, Medicaid, repeals of the student loan debt, none of this got through on the Republican side. So when I see that like the things that we did give were things that were either coming anyway. So for instance, like the student aid, the interest on the student loan starting to, I guess, tick back again and repayment starting again at the end of summer. This was already going to happen, and we gave that, but we didn't really lose anything. You look at like the SNAP stuff. You look at the IRS. We fought for $80 billion in increased funding. We gave $20 billion back for now. I feel like that was a major win for Biden in that we moved past the debt ceiling thing for 2 years. The 2-year thing bothered you guys. The House bill was worlds apart. They wanted a 10-year cap on spending, and we got that down to 2. And then the budgets that we got was like $700 billion versus the $550 that we're asking for in the House for 2024 fiscal year 2025. That all of this seems like pretty decent stuff. Again, I understand that we didn't like fight for anything, we didn't get anything, but considering it was a House majority for Republicans and considering people thought we were going to lose a lot more, I don't understand why there's not just like a little bit to be happy about there.
No, nothing, zero. Okay, so let me explain.
Okay.
So look, brother, when you say political analysts expected that it would be worse, well, first of all, that's corporate media, and corporate media always thinks the country is center right. That the Republicans are right on the debt and deficit. I mean, they're clowns. Trump drove up the deficit by the debt by $7.8 trillion. Reagan, Bush, they all drive up deficits. Last Republican president to balance the budget was Dwight Eisenhower. Okay, but what does corporate media always tell you? Oh, the Republicans care about the debt. They care about the deficit. It's a lie. Lie. Okay, so when they say, oh, okay. Oh, but Biden has to give everything to the Republicans. He didn't give them everything. He gave them only 89%. Oh, what a champion. Well, yeah, corporate politicians are happy. Corporate Democrats are happy. Corporate Republicans are happy. Corporate media is happy. So that's not an argument at all, in my opinion. Okay, so you have to look at the actual policy, right? So what actually happened there? Well, are you right that the Republicans threatened to punch us in the face about 100 times? Yes. So, but when we get punched in the face 80 times, and then we get one thing back, that's the one that I mentioned on SNAP, That's not a win. You got punched in the face 80 times. And Stephen, we didn't need it at all. The 14th Amendment is crystal clear. It says our debt shall not be questioned. It's one of the clearest amendments there is. The only reason you even entered the negotiations is if you want to give things away. And so I'll give you two of the specific examples that you mentioned, okay? So for example, on work requirements, and corporate media always moves the goalpost, okay? On work requirements, first they came and there's, the Democrats said no way. And corporate media says, Democrats say no way, they're gonna stand strong. Hakeem Jeffries puts out a strong statement, we will not bend on that. And then when they collapse, complete utter collapse, right? And then again, God bless, at least we got the veterans and the homeless, okay? But they collapsed on the work requirements that they said they would not budge on. Then corporate media goes, what a wonderful bipartisan compromise. It's a good thing we have work requirements. Wait, what the hell happened? Okay, I covered when you said X. Now I'm covering when you say Y, and those things are not at all the same. On student debt, classic trick. So what did he give? He gave the Republicans ending the moratorium in September, so you're gonna have to start paying interest again on your loans, okay? But they said, all right, but we're not gonna take away the student debt forgiveness. He knows the Supreme Court's gonna strike that down in 2 weeks. Biden knows that. So that way he gets to give away the store and then go, the favorite thing of corporate Democrats. There was nothing we could do. There was nothing we could do. The Supreme Court, golly gee, did they end my student debt relief program? The one thing that was gonna help young people? Oops, I did it again. So no, not buying it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.